Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into an interesting topic, how remote viewing is defined. Whether you are new to the concept or you've been practicing for a while, this video will help clear up any confusion. Remote viewing can seem a bit tricky to define at first, but don't worry, we'll break it down together. One of the first known mentions of extrasensory perception dates back to the earliest records in Hinduism, 1750 till 500 before Common Era, with the Vedas and the Yoga Sutras, which outline an 8-step yoga practice. The main focus is on developing concentration, meditation, and mental absorption. In Buddhism, extrasensory perception is mentioned in the Adaptability Sutra around the 1st century before Common Era. It is essentially a 1,600-page treatise on extrasensory perception. The sutra describes the ability to simultaneously perceive different worlds, be omnipresent, and understand everything happening in various levels of existence. It conveys the idea of expanded perceptual abilities that enable one to grasp the universe in its entirety and operate within cosmic interconnections. Let us not forget the Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece, which provided guidance on future events. The oracle's predictions were a form of extrasensory perception, providing insight and advice that were otherwise unattainable. The development of remote viewing as a method of obtaining information by mental means was a significant advance in the field of extrasensory perception. Let us talk about the emergence of the term remote viewing. The decisive moment in the development of the term remote viewing took place on December 8, 1971, in a series of experiments with Carlis Oses and Gertrude Schmeidler, PhDs. Ingo Swann demonstrated the possibility of perceiving distant places beyond physical boundaries. These experiments marked an important milestone and showed that it was possible to perceive information about distant targets with surprising accuracy under laboratory conditions. The results of this series of scientific experiments were groundbreaking. Ingo Swann's descriptions of distant targets often included weather conditions and physical environments that later proved to be correct. Various terms were considered to describe this new form of perception. Ingo suggested remote viewing or remote sensing. In the end, the term remote viewing was officially introduced as the series of experiments involved the research subject of remote viewing, to see something. The introduction of this terminology was a crucial step in establishing remote viewing as a recognized and systematic method of information gathering. The term remote viewing was already subject to strict scientific protocols for carrying out the experiments when it was coined. According to declassified CIA documents, remote viewing is defined as the acquisition and description by mental means of information blocked from ordinary perception by distance, shield, or time. This definition highlights the core concept of remote viewing as a mental ability that transcends physical limitations, allowing individuals to access information that is otherwise inaccessible. A remote viewer is defined as a person who perceives, communicates with, and/or perturbs characteristics of a designated target, person, or event. This role is central to the practice of remote viewing, where the viewer uses their mental ability to gather and relay information about the target without relying on conventional sensory input. In 2015, Harold E. Puthoff mentioned the definition of remote viewing at the International Remote Viewing Association conference: direct awareness or experience of distant locations or events in space and time that are blocked from ordinary perception by distance, shielding, or time, and generally considered to be secure from such access by any known physical means or by means of logical interference. These definitions provide a foundational understanding of remote viewing and the capabilities of a remote viewer. They underscore the unique nature of this phenomenon and its potential applications in various fields. Implicit in all of these descriptions is that the observed extrasensory perception was conducted under scientific, protocol-based procedures. All research experiments and also the operational work later were conducted under this scientific umbrella. To conduct remote viewing, it is essential to have a clearly defined target which is documented or recorded. A kind of feedback is important. For the remote viewer to enable unbiased perceptions, it is essential that they are blind to the target. To ensure reliable verifiability, it is essential that remote viewing data is carefully recorded in some manner. While not mandatory to qualify as remote viewing, careful data analysis is important for validating and understanding the accuracy of the gathered information. These structured protocols ensure the credibility and repeatability of remote viewing, setting it apart as a reliable means of accessing information beyond ordinary sensory capabilities. Protocols in remote viewing are adaptable, but not easily changed. As Joe McMonigle stated in 2012, making a change to a protocol means all those studies and determinations have to be redone in depth to ensure fraud, cheating, and/or other destructive actions can't be taking place during remote viewing. Protocol-based remote viewing methods and their structure cannot be compared to a spontaneous psychic state with normal mental noise. This diagram illustrates the spontaneous psychic state with normal mental noise. It shows the importance of achieving a quiet state to reduce background noise and enhance signal clarity. Remote viewers adhere to strict protocols and methods to lower the level of background noise more and more during their sessions. The most fitting definition I propose for remote viewing is remote viewing is a methodical technique that utilizes the extended sensory capabilities of humans to perceive and describe distant locations, living systems, objects, or events within the dimensions of matter, energy, space, and time. These capabilities extend beyond the traditional five senses and involve various specialized sensory receptors. The process employs rigorously structured protocols and disciplined training to transform this natural potential into a reliable and precise method for gathering information. Learning to remote view allows one to discover that space and time can be transcended through consciousness. As Duan Elgin and Stanford Research Institute subjects said, once you discover that space doesn't matter, or that time can be traveled through at will so that time doesn't matter, and that matter can be moved by consciousness so that matter doesn't matter, well, you can't go home again. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of remote viewing. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring the limits of your consciousness.